everybody. This is TJR.
And this is Robert Kinsler.
And welcome to The News. This is the weekly show where Robert and I discuss the music news headlines and new music releases that have grabbed our interest and that we want to share with you. As always, we can't cover everything. So if we missed anything, please share them in the comments. How you doing, Robert?
Hey, good, TJ. How about you? How's everything?
Doing good, doing good. I saw the Elvis movie a couple days ago. Saw it on Tuesday. It's Thursday night as we tape this, but I saw it on Tuesday. And working on my review. I'll have that out hopefully soon. But
I look forward to seeing that. And I still need to see the movie too, TJ.
Definitely do need to see it. It is a must see. And you definitely need to see it in the theater, in my opinion. Okay. This is a theatrical experience. You know, Baz Luhrmann, a real showman when it comes to motion pictures, and he's doing a movie about one of the greatest showmen in music. So this is a big screen experience. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Okay,
great. But let's get to the news. I'm going to let you start this one, please.
Okay, great. Well, you know, we're all about anniversaries on the news. So celebrating its 40th anniversary this year is R.E.M's debut EP, Chronic Town. Now, Chronic Town will be released for the first time ever as a standalone CD with extensive new liner notes by the original producer, Mitch Easter. And it's going to be released in 3 different formats: on audio CD, via picture disc, and even, dare I say it, cassette. And that's coming on August 19th via IRS, Universal Music. So everybody can look forward to being able to revisit, much of the world's early introduction to R.E.M., and that's coming soon.
Wow. I'm not familiar with this EP. This was their first release?
Yeah, well, their first EP. It may have not been their first release, but it was one of their first. What I will tell you is it's known for a couple of the songs have lived on among fans of the band. Gardening at Night, which is, an all-time, classic for the band, as well as Wool's Lower. Those are all on the 5-song EP. So, it's R.E.M's one of those groups since they broke up, you hear about them, then you don't. But, they are truly one of the great bands of the 80s and the 90s. And it's great that we're going to be able to revisit this release coming up here in August.
I have to admit, R.E.M. was a band that during the 80s and 90s, I didn't understand. It was a band that a lot of critics said you need to like them. But really, it's been my association with you all these years that has begun to have that influence to where I've started to listen to R.E.M. more, and I'm understanding them better and better all the time. And I have you to thank for that.
Well, good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, cool news. Speaking of not really an anniversary release, but a couple years back, I'm sure most people know, back in 2016, Abco Records released the Rolling Stones in mono. They released it as a CD set and they released it as a vinyl LP set. To try to buy that LP set, if you go to Amazon, say, for instance, just as an example, you'll find it selling at around over $1,000 from third-party sellers on Amazon. You'll see it selling on eBay, maybe, like starting in the $700 range, past the $1,000 range. If you're trying to get it, the CD version is still available. You can still buy it brand new on Amazon here in the US for a little over $200. I purchased the CD version on eBay. I purchased a used copy of it some years back after it had been released. And admittedly, at the time, I was not as into vinyl then when it was first released as I am now. And so I was rather intrigued when one of our viewers, James Wilson, posted a comment, and I'll read it here for you. He wrote, "Did you hear about the possible LP repress of this set?" He's referring to the Rolling Stones in mono. "It appears to be out on October 21st. Amazon UK and Spain and Italy have it up on Amazon UK and Spain. They want about $300 US shipped." I'm kind of paraphrasing his words here. basically what it originally cost in 2016. I pre-ordered it as on Amazon UK. No US or Canada Amazon links just yet. So I was intrigued by this. I looked over on Amazon US. Of course, the only thing that you can buy brand new of that set is the CD version. Vinyl version, unless you want to pay more than $1,000, you're not going to find it on Amazon. Like I said, otherwise it's just an aftermarket purchase at inflated prices. So I went to Amazon UK and I took a look. And sure enough, it said scheduled release date, Friday, 21st, October, 2022. The Rolling Stones in Mono vinyl box set. It was roughly about 254 pounds, British pounds.
Wow.
Global shipping about roughly $11 to the US. It comes to roughly a little over $300 US dollars if you want to pre-order it. So I thought to myself, well, considering how expensive it is to buy it on the aftermarket right now, and I thought if they do release it, if they do make it available in the US to purchase, say on Amazon US or at other retailers, great. But I decided I'm going to go pre-order it on the UK site.
Wow. Okay.
So I pre-ordered it because that's the only place I could see where you could buy it. Because who knows? Maybe it'll only available in Europe, not here. I don't know. You never know these days. You really don't.
Yeah, you don't.
It's hard to say. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it. I figure if it shows up on the US Amazon website, if it is a better deal, it would have to be significant to make me change my plans. But if it was a better deal, I could just cancel my pre-order on the UK and order it on the US site. But I figured, before it sells out, I'm just going to pre-order it here on the UK. So I've done this. Now, what's interesting about this is there's nothing out there announcing this. I looked on the ABCO website. I did internet searches. There's nothing aside from, of course, the Amazon UK. And of course, James said he saw it on Spain on Spain, but I only looked on the UK one. But aside from that, there's nothing saying it's going to be re-released, it's going to be reissued, nothing. So there's always the possibility this could be some kind of weird mistake that's being listed on these European Amazon websites as available again at the end of this year. After I placed my pre-order, it said my order would be arriving sometime in November.
Wow. That's a wait.
It gave me a date. Well, yeah, because it says release date, the October 21st, end of October. So it said it would arrive sometime, and it gave me like a time frame at the end of October, early November that I could receive it by, because it would have to ship from the UK. But so it seems like it's real. But I keep thinking something could happen. They could say, oh, this was just some weird mistake we made. Some weird internet glitch, that nobody anticipated. Sorry, it's not real, folks. So I just want to say this could happen. But I wanted to bring it up here for all the Rolling Stones fans who maybe missed this the first time around. This could be a chance to get the vinyl version of the set if you wanted to get it. And the next thing, of course, would be the Beatles in Mono set. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I have it.
CD. We have a CD.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
The Beatles in Mono set was analog sourced, the LP version.
Mm-hmm.
The stereo LP version was digitally sourced. And like I said, wasn't into it at the time. And for a long time, even afterwards, you could get the mono LP set fairly inexpensive on the aftermarket. Not now, not with the whole vinyl resurgence. Had I understood what I know now earlier, I would have jumped on that because it was analog sourced. So if that were to be released, that would be just the next other great thing that could happen.
Yeah,
they released the Beatles in Mono set. And of course, the other thing that should happen is an analog sourced stereo Beatles catalog, sourced from the analog tapes on LP. That would be the next thing. Anyways, though, so I just want to put that out there and just kind of let everybody know. If you're interested, go to Amazon UK. And apparently, I didn't check myself, but apparently you can also go to Amazon Spain. James, thank you so much for just bringing that to my attention. We appreciate it. And so we want to share it with everybody here. And anyways, though, I know you've got some more stuff you want to talk about, so please.
No, we got a few things to talk about. Yeah. So actually, I'm going to jump a totally different track here, but going to discuss the return of Asia. Now, the original lead singer, John Wetton, passed away a few years ago. But I guess the band is in celebration of, again, its 40th anniversary. We're talking about here their first album, Asia, which was a huge hit back in the early 80s. They're going to go out and celebrate that, in addition to a new box set that came out recently, which is titled Asia in Asia. So I guess the band's going to go out. So people are saying, so it's going to be founding members Carl Palmer, who was the famous drummer, Jeff Downs, who plays keyboards and does backing vocals, and then the newer members that are going to be jumping on board are Billy Sherwood, who's going to play bass and backing vocals, and then the newest member, who's guitarist and lead vocalist, Mark Bonilla. And this will be our chance to see Asia perform its parade of hits one more time. And I'll read this quote from the media release here. It says, "We were hoping to be out this August," which they mean August of 2022. "However, moving the tour to early next year so we can remain on a co-bill with the Alan Parsons Project will be worth it," said founding member Carl Palmer. "I'm so thrilled that Asia has finally been able to return to performing after 3 years off the road due to the pandemic. We have much to celebrate." So for fans of Asia, this is your chance to, possibly see the band. And like I said, it's bittersweet because John Wetton and Steve Howe will not be, with them. But still, if you're a fan of the band, this will be, and want to hear them play all those great songs, this is your chance.
I know you've always been a big fan of Asia, and that's a band that I've never really quite connected with. But that's the reason why I like working with you, because we don't always agree on music. We don't always see eye to eye. And I like hearing your perspective on things. And I like hearing why you like certain types of music. Like I said, I've never really connected with Asia, but man, you got me to understand Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
Previously I didn't, but now I understand Hall & Oates. I get it,
Well, and I'll be very honest with the viewers out there too. Asia was kind of my entry to prog rock. I mean, before, like I knew about Rush, I knew about Yes, I knew about Genesis, and I kind of casually liked them, but I got Asia probably because I went to their initial concert back in the early 80s when they played in Long Beach, and I was swept up in the musicianship and stuff. So they were like a gateway musical drug to kind of a whole new genre after being, more into bands like the Who and the Beatles and the Stones and stuff. It kind of expanded my horizons, which have continued to expand all these years later. So, but I am a big fan of Asia, and just wanted to share the news, TJ.
Absolutely. Glad you did. Do you remember Creem magazine?
I do.
Yes.
I do remember.
Boy, howdy. And I remember one of the things I loved about Creem magazine is all the photos they would print of your favorite rock stars, but they'd have these deliberately funny captions that had nothing to do with what the interview or story was about. They didn't ever take it too seriously. I really like that about them. I miss them. And if you miss Creem magazine, they're back. They came back earlier this month. I'm going to read a little bit here from Variety magazine on this here. I'm just going to quote them here. Creem magazine started publishing as a regional monthly in Detroit in 1969, but didn't go national until 1971, with a firmly anti-establishment bias that took aim at the likes of Jan Wenner's Rolling Stone and Paul Williams' Crawdaddy for eminence in the heady early days of rock criticism. The revival of Creem is spearheaded by J.J. Kramer, son of the original Maverick publisher, Barry Kramer, who died from a drug overdose in 1981. Now, Creem is coming back as both a digital archive website and as a print publication. Creem's new online archives includes 224 digitized issues and more than 69,000 articles from 1969 to 1989. All of this is available online for free, but will eventually cost users $5 monthly for unlimited access. A $79 payment unlocks the digital archives plus a new quarterly print edition. But Creem magazine is back, and we'll leave a link to the website so you can check that out.
Now, so far on this episode, twice I've dipped into the 40th anniversary theme, right? Now we're really going to go back to the 60th anniversary because that's how many years it's been since the Beach Boys got going.
Hmm.
I mean, wrap your head around that. How crazy to
Yeah.
think that the Beach Boys have been, been around for 60 years. But anyway, in celebration of their 60th anniversary, a few years back, back in 2003, they released the very best of the Beach Boys, Sounds of Summer. And people, many fans probably, if they don't have the album, they probably are aware of it. Now, Capitol Records and UME have released, I mean, this thing is just mind blowing. It's gone from 30 tracks on the original one and one disc to 3 CDs. And this thing is really impressive. It has a great booklet, talks a lot about the history with neat photos, just a really nice package. And you're getting some deep cuts here. So if you're a fan of the Beach Boys, you know them from all their great songs and everything, all their hits, but want to go, hey, what if I want to learn a little bit more, hear a little bit beyond the hits I've heard? This is an amazing collection. I mean, like everybody knows, California Girls, and I Get Around and Fun, all that. That's going to be all on disc one. But really, when you get into the other 2 discs, there's so much phenomenal material. Some of it, if I had heard it, it'd been so long I forgot about it, but it really gives you a greater appreciation of the Beach Boys and how amazing they were and what Brian Wilson and company accomplished. It really is incredible, and really recommended this very strongly. And it's called Sounds of Summer, the very best of the Beach Boys, and I believe it's available now.
For someone like me, who's more of a fan of Brian Wilson than the Beach Boys, there are a couple Beach Boy albums I'm going to have in my collection, but then the rest is, to me, not as essential. So something like this is a good idea for someone like me.
Yeah.
Who wants to just get a good overview of all the well-known hits plus some extra deep cuts as well.
Right.
At this point, I don't see myself getting that far into their albums and any more than I already am. There's just a couple albums by the Beach Boys that I have in my collection that I feel are essential for me. And this is, like I said, subjectively my opinion. You don't have to agree with me.
But and I know many of us, I think we know the Beach Boys primarily, TJ, through the hits and just kind of growing up in the radio. And I think they're one of those bands that they were more known for their singles than their albums. I think we all can acknowledge that. So this collection is kind of a good, medley of kind of bringing together those timeless, enduring hits that everyone thinks about, but you're going to be exposed to some of the more adventuresome and pioneering music that they undertook as well.
Now, I want to talk about a new artist, or at least new for me, someone that I've discovered. He is relatively new. He's only got his second album coming out right now, but I had not heard about him until just a couple weeks ago. And I was just kind of looking through new tracks on Tidal, new release tracks. And I came across this song called Lie, Lie, Lie by an artist named Marcus King. And this is an advanced single. It's called Lie, Lie, Lie. It's off his upcoming album entitled Youngblood, which releases in August of this year. It'll be releasing very shortly, August 26th. And this track was immediate ear candy. It was just some really badass, heavy blues rock, killer guitar riff, killer guitar solo. What more could I ask for? And I was immediately attracted to the song. After I heard it, I immediately played it again. And then I immediately played it again after that. And I was like, wow, this is a badass song. So I looked him up, his artist profile. He had 2 other advanced tracks for this new album entitled Youngblood coming out. The next one was called Hard Working Man, which I thought sounded a bit like kind of Steve Miller, like something from Steve Miller Band, but with heavier guitars. And then there was another song called Rescue Me, which was very swampy blues with a slight touch of CCR. And these were both really good tracks too. Really good tracks. But what really killed it for me was this track called Lie, Lie, Lie. So all of these tracks I can hardly recommend. And I'm going to recommend, especially to the boomers like me, like you, the ones who cry that there's no new good rock music out there. Go check this out. There's tons of good new rock music out there. You just got to look. just stop listening to the classic rock radio and start looking up stuff on the internet. Great track. I can't wait for the album. Looking forward to it. I'll definitely be checking it out when it comes out.
And TJ, I'm gonna definitely check that out. I saw Marcus King at the Doheny Blues Festival in 2019.
Of course you did.
And he killed it. I mean, the guy was amazing. So I hadn't heard these tracks yet, but you can be sure I'm going to run out and go listen to him because, like you said, he is the real deal. A great vocalist, and boy, can he play the hell out of the guitar. Man, is he great.
I had no idea you'd seen him live, so that's cool to hear. Of course, you've seen him live. You've seen everybody live.
Yeah, I've seen. Well, when you're a music journalist for year after year, boy, you see a lot. I'm thankful. Yeah, because a lot of these people I may not necessarily seen them, but the editor says, "Hey, I want you to go cover this or go cover that." Yeah, and some of my great discoveries have been on an assignment. So I've been very blessed like that. No complaints on my end.
That's all that I want to talk about today, but I know you have something else you still want to talk about.
Yeah, I just want a real quick shout out the latest album from Pete Yorn, the great singer-songwriter, and the name of the album is Hawaii, and I did review it in a recent column, so if you want to see my full review, you can.
And that's on musicworthbuying.com. That's how people.
That's right, musicworthbuying.com. Thank you for reminding everybody. Yeah. And the name of the album, like I said, is Hawaii. He co-produced it, and it's a really great album. It kicks off with this great melodic opener titled Elizabeth Taylor, and the album never lets up. It's a really strong return to form, one of his, I think, best albums ever, and I really think it's a great album, and I just want to give it a quick shout out.
I am not familiar with Pete Yorn. I've heard the name, and I probably heard it through you, but could you give me your best elevator pitch on him? What would you say he sounds like, or who would you compare him to?
I would say melodic folk rock. So in other words, it's not real heavy. It's not like a lot of times we talk about blues rock or alternative, post punk. It's definitely in the singer songwriter mold of maybe people like Toad the Wet Sprocket. Not that it sounds like Toad the Wet Sprocket, but maybe that kind of thing where you're using melody and emotion to kind of propel the songs. Each song kind of stands on its own, and I think
in-depth lyrics.
Yeah, in-depth lyrics, and he has a great voice and just and delivers it with a lot of style and substance.
Cool. Okay, thanks for sharing that. All right, and so that's it for this week, I think. As always, we can't talk about everything, we can't cover everything. So please, if there's any new releases that you want to talk about, if there's any other headlines, music headlines you want to talk about, please bring them up in the comments. And we appreciate it very much, every comment. As always, if you like what we're doing here, please click like, hit subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video. And now I want to say thank you to the fierce and mighty patron supporters who are helping us make more videos. We do appreciate it very much. Patron supporters get exclusive weekly videos that are not here on the channel. And if you'd like to be a patron supporter, please go to patreon.com/TJR the original, make a monthly pledge. And if you can't do that, it's okay. We understand. Just click like and play all of our videos to the very end so that the YouTube algorithm recognizes this channel and recommends it to more viewers like you. And Robert, good talking music with you.
Good to see you, TJ. Thanks.
Look forward to talking to you next week. And everybody take care. You all stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.